My name is Alina, and I'm a 30-year-old woman who grew up in Chicago alongside my older sister Julia, who is 32. From a young age, it was clear that Julia was the favorite child. My parents doted on her for being the beautiful and intelligent one, while I was often overlooked and labeled as the responsible one. This favoritism wasn't intentional. It simply manifested in subtle but painful ways, reinforcing the belief that I mattered less. Throughout middle school, I worked hard to win a regional spelling bee, eager to share my achievement with my parents. Instead, my dad barely acknowledged my trophy, while my mom quickly shifted the conversation to Julia's invitation to the spring dance. The pattern only deepened in high school. Despite making the varsity swim team as a freshman, my parents showed no interest as Julia took the lead in the school play. They even made me drive her to rehearsals right after my competitions. This trend continued into adulthood, where Julia received a down payment for her first house from our parents, whereas I was denied help with car repairs when I mentioned needing assistance. While I never held ill will toward Julia, I figured it was just how siblings worked, and I was okay with it. Until recently, I discovered the extent of their betrayal last week. I went over to my parents' house to deliver some paperwork when I overheard a shocking conversation on speakerphone. Julia, in a panicked voice, said, "Mom, Alina can't find out about me and Jay," referring to my husband. My heart sank. My mom assured Julia not to worry and that everything would be fine, while my dad echoed these sentiments. Shock and disbelief pulsed through me. My own sister and husband had been collaborating behind my back. Feeling utterly nauseated, I left my parents' house without even retrieving the papers. Back home, Jay greeted me casually, and I couldn't bear to look at him. Instead, I locked myself in the bathroom, overwhelmed by a whirlwind of emotions: rage, betrayal, and confusion. Over the following days, I isolated myself, unable to speak to Jay or even work up the courage to confront Julia. The realization gnawed at me. This wasn't just about the affair. It was about being betrayed by the two people I trusted most, along with my parents, who opted to shield Julia instead of supporting me. I spent hours driving, questioning how I should confront them. I decided I needed proof, otherwise they might deny everything or twist it to make me seem irrational. Then came the call from my mom. She asked for my help in planning Julia's baby shower, which felt like a slap in the face, considering Julia's pregnancy might have resulted from her affair with Jay. Instead of expressing my outrage, I agreed to aid my mother in planning the event, determined to use it as an opportunity for reckoning rather than celebration. I focused on gathering evidence. One night while Jay slept, I delved into his phone, which had a folder misleadingly labeled Receipts. Inside were numerous photos of him with Julia, including intimate moments at a hotel. As I collected the photos and messages, the reality of their affair slammed into me. Texts filled with emotions, plans to meet, and even a baby onesie caption all compounded the betrayal. Mundane photos posted by Julia on social media began to take on new significance, revealing her flippant lifestyle choices with hints of deception. I even stumbled across an online shared family folder marked Baby Shower Plans, where my name was listed for coordination. The audacity was remarkable. I decided that the baby shower wasn't merely a celebration. It was the perfect stage to unveil the reality of their betrayals. I prepared a shocking PowerPoint presentation destined to expose both Jay and Julia in front of everyone. I outlined my slides, mixing generic congratulatory messages with incriminating texts, revealing photos, and culminating in a short clip that spoke volumes. On the day of the shower, I played my part perfectly, putting up decorations and pretending everything was fine, while internally I felt like a volcano ready to erupt. As the hour came, I delivered a few simple compliments before unveiling the presentation that would change everything. The room plunged into silence as the first slides rolled. Shock spread through the crowd, and whispers grew louder when people began connecting the dots between Julia's radiant smiles and the betrayal that was about to be revealed. The atmosphere shifted dramatically, with Nate's bewildered look mirroring the audience's gasp upon realizing the truth. I delivered my final line, a sharp jab at Julia, revealing her affair and the lies she crafted. Chaos erupted. Julia stammered through her tears, denying everything, while Nate demanded explanations and Jay crumbled under the weight of the scandal. Guests pulled out their phones to capture the moment as Clara's live stream spread the truth far and wide. What followed was the fallout. Nate wasted no time in blocking Julia once he realized the extent of her treachery. In the days that followed, word spread, and Julia's social media presence began to dwindle under the weight of public scrutiny. As for Jay, he could no longer hide from the truth, and their affairs slowly unraveled their so-called perfect lives. Ultimately, I was free. Shortly after the shower, my divorce from Jay was finalized without contention. The paperwork didn't reflect the emotional turmoil we endured, but it confirmed a new beginning. I reclaimed my life, purging mementos of Jay from my home, picking up the shattered pieces of my identity, and moving forward without the weight of their betrayal holding me back. As Julia crumbled under the pressure of her choices and faced the reality of single motherhood, I emerged renewed. Free from the shackles of my past, I could finally breathe again.